So in this demo, we'd like to show you how a savvy HTML user may go about creating a mashup similar to POPURLs using the paradigm promoted by the JavaScript data flow architecture. This is going to be one of those gee whiz, we did something in sub 10 minutes kind of video, but when you try to do it yourself, it might take more than 10 minutes. Anyway, so here on the right we have a text editor, and on the left we have a web browser. You'll notice some starter HTML code in the text editor that gets it started. A component in JDA is known as an Infotron, and the paradigm in which you add Infotron instances is by dropping in div tags. The div tag has an ID, a reference to the URL, the script that packages up its implementation, and a UUID of the implementation. This one also has some HTML content as well. Now I'll refresh the page and you see the component rendered on the web browser. This particular Infotron we just copied and pasted is a box widget Infotron that visualizes news headlines and summary contents inside a box. The second thing we'll add is an Infotron which accesses Delicious to retrieve the latest most popular bookmarks. Again, this is described using another div tag. This div tag also has an ID, in this case Delicious, reference to a script, and a UUID. It also has some properties which customizes the behavior of this Infotron. And since this Infotron does not provide a user interface, it doesn't contain any HTML content. Now, the third thing we'll add is an Infotron that translates the RSS feed retrieved from Delicious into a format that the box widget understands. So the Infotron will act as an adapter of sorts. And we just gave this Infotron the ID translator, has a script reference, and a UUID. Now with all three Infotrons added, if I refresh the page, nothing seems to happen. And that's because these Infotrons are not talking to one another. Infotrons come with terminals attached to them, and the HTML author can create channels that connect any two terminals to allow messages to flow between them. Each HTML page in JDA is also considered an Infotron, and it can have terminals. We connect the %startup terminal provided this HTML Infotron to the RSS to JSON terminal provided by the Delicious Infotron. We do this by editing the meta tag up top. %startup is intended to magically send a message the moment the HTML Infotron has been loaded, so this will kickstart the mashup by retrieving the RSS feed from Delicious as soon as possible. Now we want to connect the Delicious Infotron to the translator Infotron. These Infotrons are connected by adding an attribute called connections on the div tag. So what I'll do here is connect the response out terminal provided by the Delicious Infotron to the JSON RSS in terminal provided by the translator Infotron. There you go. And notice how the ID, translator 1, matches up with the Infotron. That's the terminal name. So finally, we want to go ahead and connect the translator to the box widget. And we do this in more or less the same fashion. We're going to go ahead and connect the text scrap collection out terminal provided by the translator to the list in terminal provided by the box widget. Again, notice how the ID RSS_box1 matches up with the ID of the Infotron, and that's the name of the input terminal. So with these three Infotrons connected, we refresh the page and voila, we see the bookmarks from Delicious visualized inside the box widget. Now, let's fill the rest of this space up with some more content, starting with one for dig.com. I'm going to go ahead and add a new box widget. There you go. It says dig.com, and I refresh the web page and I see it right below Delicious. Let me add one more for /dot. It's right there. It says /dot. Refresh the web page and I see it. And finally, let me add one more for meta filter. there. It says meta filter. And I refresh the page and I get all 4. Now, just like I had done before, I'm going to have to go ahead and add Infotrons that go and retrieve RSS feeds from dig, /dot, and metafilter, pretty much the same way I've done for Delicious, as well as translators. So let me go ahead and do that. Just added one for dig. So clean up some code. And let me add the translator to be paired up with this web service. And I need to go back up and create the channel so that the moment the page is loaded, a message will be passed to dig and the RSS feed will be retrieved. I refresh the page and voila, I get both Delicious as well as dig on the page. Now, don't want to bore you too long, but let me go through and add and do the same things for both /dot and metafilter. And this is where I'm just going to speed up the video, just so that you're not bored. You really want to add something like Jeopardy music just about now, but you probably have to worry about copyright issues. So, yeah, never mind. So one more down, one more to go. Almost there. And we're done. So I hope this gives you an idea of how quickly one can go about prototyping web mashups by simply editing static HTML files. Also, since the Infotrons are prepackaged by JavaScript programmers, you only need HTML knowledge to assemble them. It's also worth noting how clean the resulting HTML was with absolutely no inline JavaScript. What may not have been clear in the demo is that I'm making exclusive use of publicly available web services. I didn't have to set up any special server by myself to create this mashup. So JDA allows you to do these things right now without asking for others to conform or get on board. In the same vein, you noticed how I used an Infotron that translates one message format to another. This is an important design pattern. Rather than hoping to get a lot of things perfect up front, JDA promotes a more ad hoc and evolutionary approach. Now, I'm feeling a little adventurous tonight. What if I didn't like the way these RSS feeds are visualized? What if I wanted to go ahead and just rip out all the box widgets from the mashup and replace it with something cooler? Let me just do that. Select all this stuff, delete them, gone. Just make sure they're gone, all gone. Now, some time ago, I came across a really nice timeline component developed by some great people at MIT. So I had gone ahead and packaged it up as an Infotron. So I'm going to drop that in here right now. I'm going to give it the ID, timeline. And I'm also going to add a reference to the JavaScript residing at MIT, right here. Clean up some code. And now I'm going to have to delete all the references to the box widgets and replace it with the timeline so that a new channel is created, replacing the old one, thereby routing all the messages that used to go to the box widgets will be now going to the timeline. To replace all that stuff, RSS box 4 now becomes timeline. Alright, so now I just refresh the page and voila, I now have a timeline. If I scroll, I notice that the RSS feeds are now on the timeline. Kind of gives you a quick look at when these articles were published. Whoops. At a quick glance. How much simpler can it get? Well, alright, that's it. Thanks for watching.